We have come to the point where it is time for you to plan and assemble your sets. So, this is a part where you might need to do a little bit of math. So, if you just make a boatload of beads, you don't necessarily have to do that much math because all you need to know then is how long do you like it. But if you want to be more precise and more specific, you'll need to know how long certain things are so you can know how many you need to make the desired pieces. So, in this first set, we're going to make a pair of earrings, and we'll also end up making a bracelet and a necklace. Now, necklace itself is kind of a loose term because there's a lot of different ways you can make it. Um, if you would like, you can make one that's just one solid, excuse me, strand, and you don't have to worry about where the fastening is, right? You can just take it on and take it off over your head, but you'll need to make one that's really long at that point. I recommend at least 26 inches because that makes sure that it can get all the way around your noggin and around your nose. However, if you wanted to make something that sits at a more standard length across your chest or around your neck, you'll want to shoot for something more like 17 to 21 inches. Those are pretty standard necklace lengths. The shorter ones will sit closer to your neck, the longer ones will sit farther away. When you're making these for somebody else, thinking about their neck and what it's like can be helpful. So if you have somebody who's really tiny, like maybe you've got a little sister or your mom's super skinny, right? You might want to go for one of those shorter lengths. But if you have somebody who's, bigger lady like me or dude, whatever, everybody wears jewelry. Don't let any of this stuff here stop you. You might want to go for one of the longer lengths. But a little bit before that, we're still talking about lengths. You want to plan your design and plan how you're going to put it together. If you would like, you are more than welcome to just make a ton of the same kind of bead and same color and everything. That is totally up to you. If you found a paper that you really like and you have a lot of it, it is perfectly fine to make a set around that idea. But if you want some more variety in your pieces, you could make them related by what colors are in them. So maybe you're using the same template and your beads will end up being the same form, but maybe all your papers are different colors. So the thing that's relating them is that form. Maybe you want to relate the color, but have the beads be a different form for each one so that they're making a different texture against your wrists or against your neck. That is also perfectly fine. I have my pieces laid out here because these are the three that I decided that I liked the most and wanted to make a set out of. And while they don't necessarily match the best as far as colors, they have kind of a similar feel as far as their forms. Now, I was messing around with the different ways I could arrange them. I could do every other. I could do just the same thing repeating over and over again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? I can pick whatever way I want these to be combined to make my set. The things where measurements start coming in and where you start planning for it is that I decided I rather like this arrangement right here because then as I repeat it, there's one of these between each of these sets, and it ends up being a motif that repeats in a way that makes the whole set and whole pattern cohesive and unified. So here's the measuring part. I'm going to measure each of my beads from end to end. Looks like we've got 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. And would you look at that? It's just about 1/2 inch. It's a little bit longer. And then this is the same as this one, and it's another 1/2 inch. So I know that my motif is 2 inches long. Why is this important? If I want to make a 20-inch necklace, I know that I need to have enough beads to make 10 of these motifs. So I need 10 hourglass beads, 20 oval beads, and 10 of my small oval beads. But that's just for the necklace. Bracelets are usually range from 7 to 8 inches. If you have somebody with a really skinny wrist, the 7 inches is good. If you have somebody with a thicker wrist, the 8 inches is good. There's multiple ways you can tie them off so that the lengths are more adjustable and person friendly. So if we look at my wrist, this kind of scale might not be helpful. I tend to go for closer to 8 inches. You're welcome to make them even larger, but once they get too big, they turn into anklets. If you have really skinny wrists, like I know a lot of young people at Johnson have really skinny wrists, 6.5 inches isn't out of the question. So again, you're just thinking about how many of your motif do you need to make your pattern and make your set. So I did the math. I had my pieces sitting out. I calculated it all, how many I would need for the bracelet, the necklace, and the earrings, because that's going to be part of our set for this time. And I made sure that I have enough pieces available for all of that. So there's planning a set. Make sure that you've got whatever combination ready that you want, and also making sure that you've got enough beads available to get started. Now we'll move into the next part, which is actually constructing the set.